All right, welcome back to Artscape. I'm Bill, and this is Larry. And before we get into the music, I just want to show everybody this. This is, most of your boxes are done this way with the dovetails, right? That you actually carve these out. Mm-hmm. I mean, so that we see no nails. You don't even see the dovetails from the inside, but actually I can't get these apart. But these are actually hand carved. All your corners are done that way. Mm-hmm. That just seems remarkable to me that you could do that. Yeah. I mean, that's really old school, right? That's how they would have done it 200, 300 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
You're a musician, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. At some point recently, you decided, you know, I think I'm going to make ukuleles.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, a year ago, I went to the beach and spent the whole week just becoming obsessed with the ukulele.
Right.
And so this year, I decided I was going to start making.
Now, at this point, you are a musician. You've been in bands for years. You've also made marimbas and xylophones. Mm-hmm. But up to this point, you'd never made a stringed instrument, right?
I did make this. This is my first attempt at making a guitar. It's a lap steel guitar made out of walnut. But I don't really play lap steel.
No.
So, I mean, it's really cool, and I was really happy to make it. It's pretty simple so far as guitar making goes. But you know, after my obsession, I've always wanted to make guitars, and I've been kind of intimidated by it because of the stresses and tensions that are present with the thin wood and the tight strings, and I knew it would probably take me a few tries to make a guitar that sounded and played well.
So is making the ukuleles just sort of like a training grounds to eventually making guitars?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I'd still like to make a guitar, but I'm having a real good time making ukuleles. They're much more forgiving. Goes a lot quicker in making them, so I was able to get through the first few to learn.
I mean, I think this is interesting because you're really tying your two arts, your music, love of music, into your love of woodworking.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, it's got to feel amazing.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. And at this point, all I want to do is make ukuleles.
Right.
And then play them.
Yeah, right. Because you were saying once you make them, it takes a while to wear them in, break them in.
Yeah, it's a part of the process of making a ukulele is, first of all, I start with most of the wood comes from a log, and I mill the wood with a chainsaw and let it dry.
Now, let me just say this. Why go through all that trouble? Why don't you just get some nice plywood? Well,
I've been accumulating wood over the years. Part of what I think makes my work special is that I can use wood that comes out of a client's yard, like that corner cupboard.
Yeah.
So the wood's really special, and especially after Hurricane Isabel, lots of trees came down. So there was lots of wood out there to be harvested.
We should say that too. If anybody has a tree that's fallen, to get in contact with you, and you could basically make anything out of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Musical instrument, a chair.
Yeah, and that's what makes something really special. Just a normal old medicine cabinet isn't that special, but when you say, "Oh yeah, this wood was underwater for 150 years," then it becomes a conversation piece.
Or my grandfather planted a tree in the yard, and now it fell. And
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that's a great idea. Instead of obviously burning the wood or disposing of it, making something out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So tell us about this one.
Okay.
Well, first of all, wait. Where did you get all the? How did you figure out how to do this?
Well, I was shopping around for a ukulele. I didn't really have a lot of money. Mm-hmm. My idea was that I wanted to have a ukulele installed in each place that I might be, like have one in the house, have one here in the shop, have one in the truck, have one in my parents' house. So everywhere I go, there'll be a ukulele there so I can play it. So I decided, well, I'm a woodworker. Here I am shopping for another ukulele. Maybe I should try building one. So I bought a ukulele kit, and has all the parts all cut out, everything all ready to go. And I use those parts as templates, so I can make my own parts from those parts. And then it was relatively easy, actually. Just copying the parts and figuring out the proper sequence of assembly.
Right.
And
I mean, it's easy for somebody like you that's trained at this. I don't think anybody could just do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's some tricks and, you know, some
Right.
nuance involved, you know, so far
Because this
as...
seems like a hard thing to me, just to bend a piece of wood to go all the way around like that.
Actually, that's a fairly easy
Yeah.
part of the whole process.
right?
Yeah. I mean, I could show you how it's done.
Yeah.
I guess what I found the hardest part of making a ukulele is the final setup, where having the angle of the neck just right, and having the strings at the proper height, having the frets filed down and smooth.
The fine tuning of it all.
The fine tuning of it all seems to me, for me, it takes more time than just about any other step in the process. But it's also a fun part of the process because I slowly dial in, you know, to the ukulele sounding good.
Right. Now, of all the ukuleles you got here, and you said you made about 14 of them so far, mostly you're all different woods, right? You're
Yes.
experimenting, and just because you're making them, they're all slightly different. They all must sound different too, right?
Yeah, each one has its own sort of voice.
Yeah.
There's one I made, number 9, is the best sounding
Is that right?
ukulele I've made.
Do you have any idea why?
Well, the top of the ukulele vibrates, and that's what resonates, and that's what gives it sound. And you want it to be sort of as thin as possible, the wood as thin as possible, so it'll vibrate more. The thinner it is, the more it's going to want to collapse because of the tension of the strings. So you have to brace it. What I started learning was how to shape the braces and the right thickness of the wood for the top. And it's that sort of combination
Right.
that gives it its quality of sound.
Right. Gotcha.
This one is the one that I play when I play with the group that I play in. I've got a pickup in it so I can plug it in.
Oh, no kidding.
And this one's number 12. It's made out of English walnut, which came from Fauquier Street here in town.
Oh, wow.
The neck is what I call swamp maple that came out of my yard.
You see like the wormholes in it and all that?
Yeah, I think that's pretty neat stuff.
Yeah.
I was actually, this close to chopping it up for firewood, and decided that I would maybe hold on to it for just a little
tell us
while longer.
what Kalea is.
Kalea is my daughter Ella's middle name.
Okay.
It's a Hawaiian name. It means, I think, like, it has a few different meanings, but bright star, beautiful wreath,
Okay.
these kind of things. So I thought I would just put the Kalea brand on just because it sort of sounded Hawaiian.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Even though I've never been to Hawaii. And I have a fantasy about going to Hawaii and
Yeah, right.
with a made in Virginia ukulele. And
Why don't we're going to take another break. Why don't you play us out to the break?
Oh,
Play a
okay,
little bit. And,
sure.
we're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back with Artscape.